The woman that owns BET just refused to sell it to Tyler Perry, and the media wants you to think it's because he couldn't afford it. But this is the truth.
They said Tyler Perry's bid was too low. It was a scam to get black people reinterested in BET. It was a scam.
And the internet exploded with thousands of posts criticizing Paramount. But regardless of what the criticisms were, this is about Shari Redstone, you know, the woman whose family is the true inspiration behind Succession, and how she used her power over the media to get them to do exactly what they do best, spin the story, saying that the problem ain't with Paramount and how they ruined the brand. Nah, they want you to believe it's because no black person can afford it.
Paramount wants cash. They want to really build up Paramount Plus, fund that streaming service. Paramount did buy BET in 2000 for $2.3 billion. They're gonna want to sell it for more than they purchased.
And this is why I just spent weeks researching this topic so you can find out what their true motivation was. And let me tell you, what's lying right there in plain sight is a diabolical plan by Paramount to completely destroy the brand by purposefully keeping it out of the hands of any of these people. And I'm gonna be real, some of this stuff I found out even the Boondocks couldn't make up.
BET.
And what does that stand for?
Black Entertainment.
No! Black evil television.
So, in order for me to put you on, I gotta break their entire plan down step by step. So first off, the entire plan to control black television can be boiled down to this. This is a report written by the Nielsen Corporation in 1989, and they're responsible for telling us how many people watch a particular show on TV. So in this report is a bombshell that completely changed television forever. Take a look at this. The report pretty much says that black people, especially black women, watch a lot of television.
I'm pregnant. And it's yours.
Oh no!
Oh, that is it. That is it. You two-timing can't get enough bastard.
Black people watch more TV than any other group in America, and it ain't even close. Our television consumption exceeds an average work week.
So after this report dropped in 1989, every single television network in America started an arms race to see who can create the blackest television the fastest.
Before you go growling up in people's face, take one Tic Tac and put it in your mouth and get a bang out of life.
Mommy,
What?
now do a silly clown dance for us.
Yeah, degrade myself, huh? I don't think so.
Job. Wednesdays, you are Ashley's driver. Understood?
Yes, I've been more than happy to drive you to Piggly Wiggly, Miss Daisy.
So the early 90s created this boom of black television, where all of a sudden there were more black faces starring in more successful TV shows than any other group of people in America.
I see what you're doing. Where is your conscience? Oh, my conscience? I left it right here.
Now, the one company that wanted to capitalize on this trend more than any other network was Paramount. So much so that they dedicated their entire united Paramount network towards black content. And when that paid off, they went even harder for their kids network, completely rebranding it around black faces and black shows.
Welcome to Good Burger, home of the Good Burger. Can I take your order?
So as Paramount hit an all-time high in the 1990s, all coming from a secret formula of putting black faces on TV for black audiences, they decided the best move was to go for the holy grail of black television. By the year 2000, BET had established itself as the biggest juggernaut in the world of black television. From Teen Summit to the BET Awards, it was clear to everybody that if you wanted to capitalize on black entertainment television, then you needed to own BET. So in 2001, the real-life Logan Roy got so greedy for them black eyeballs that he did the unthinkable. He literally created the first black billionaire in American history. Now, before y'all go calling Bob Johnson a literal sellout, let's put things into context. First off, Bob Johnson wanted to keep BET black owned, but at the time, there were no black people that could buy it.
When Bob Johnson sold it in 2000, I think it was, there wasn't one black person who could buy it.
Second, the sale of BET made a lot of people rich.
The sale of BET created more black millionaires than any other company in American history.
And third, Bob and Sheila Johnson employ more black people today than they ever did as the owners of BET.
Bob and Sheila Johnson actually own more stuff, have more black employees than when they had BET, because they've been able to buy hotels and dealerships and all kind of stuff along those lines.
So, Can we please cut Bob and Sheila Johnson some slack? Because if you're looking for somebody to blame, you can blame the Redstones. Because after they bought BET in 2001, they spent the next decade running the brand into the ground. Mainly because they left 2 Ivy League educated black people in charge of the brand, and a lot of people believe that they were out of touch with the community.
Our leader, Bob Johnson, had a dream. A dream of creating a network that would accomplish what hundreds of years of slavery, Jim Crow, and malt liquor couldn't. The destruction of black people!
Now, I know what you're thinking.
But why would they want a super duper smart guy who went to Harvard to run BET?
Duh, because it's time for a change. So after a decade, it became blatantly obvious that BET had completely lost touch with its audience.
BET sucks!
So after years of bad programming, a large chunk of the black audience made a vow. They were done with BET. That is until it becomes black owned again.
The biggest rumor out there about you wanting to buy a majority stake in BET.
Diddy and Tyler Perry are up trying to make BET black again. Apparently BET is up for sale and Tyler Perry wants to buy a majority stake, and now Diddy has entered the chat.
Puff has now entered the BET bidding war.
Puff, Byron Allen, Tyler Perry.
Now, fast forward a few years and Paramount has completely mismanaged their portfolio of networks, leaving them in desperate need of cash and fast.
Why was Paramount interested in selling BET? Because they've been losing money on their streaming service, like all of the networks.
And luckily enough for Shari, she had a strategic partner that she's been grooming for the last 6 years, just in case she ever needed to offload BET. But there's just one problem. Tyler Perry ain't the type of Negro that's built to fight for leftovers from the table. Nah, my dog spends his time building his own damn table.
While everybody was fighting for a seat at the table, talking about Oscar so white, I said, y'all go ahead and do that. But while you fighting for a seat at the table, I'll be down in Atlanta building my own.
But unfortunately for Black America, Shari doesn't give a damn about a decades-long positive business relationship with Tyler. She wants this Negro to pay 10 times earnings for BET. And to put things into perspective, companies are usually sold for 6 times earnings when they sell, something that Paramount proved when they sold another ethnic-based company in early 2023. So instead of giving Tyler more than his fair price, what does the cartoon villain do? She creates a bidding war. But hold on, I already know what you're about to say.
But it's still 3 black men fighting against each other. Why we don't just come together and do it?
But it ain't that simple. Because you see, unlike 2001, there are now 15 black billionaires in the world and another 30 on the cusp, which leaves close to 50 people with different minds and different visions. And the last thing you need when you're trying to turn around a dying brand is too many chefs in the kitchen.
Your ideology might not line up with mine. It don't matter. True. We both billionaires, but where you might want to take it, I might have my own vision for it. That's true. I need the majority stake. That is true. Me controlling it to do it, not us.
So, no matter how you slice it, Tyler Perry gave a legit offer of $2 billion to Paramount and hoped for the best. That is until he found out the hard way that Shari has another motive.
Tyler Perry is among several bidders who've lost out on a deal to buy the BET network after Paramount decided not to sell.
They said Tyler Perry's bid was too low. I think it was a scam. It was a scam to get black people reinterested in BET. It was a scam. They were never going to sell BET.
The fact that Paramount is not selling BET, and some people think that was a lie all along.
And the saddest part about this entire is that Byron Allen actually outbid Tyler Perry by offering close to the $3 billion asking price. But he was denied because they didn't think that he could get the money. Because by now, this is when Tyler realized that he's been had, and that Shari never had any intentions of selling to him, nor anyone else black for that matter. It was all just a ruse to increase interest in a higher bidder by selling them the same damn BS story that they sold themselves when they bought it.
BET was getting $1,500 for a 30-second ad. The same ad MTV was getting for $8,000. The advertising industry has said, black people, you are less than white people, because we are going to spend less money on you to attract you than we are the white consumer. Think that we now can derive more value out of BET because we can sell BET spots at a higher price than they were being sold independently.
You see, that's the play. To try to convince Apple or Amazon or someone else that if they own BET, then they could demand higher advertising dollars for the brand. Now, I know what you're thinking. Why are they fighting this hard for a brand that sucks anyway?
BET sucks!
Why don't Tyler or somebody else just start their own network? Well, I'll answer your question like this. Let's say that Tyler did start a network. The only question I have for you is this.
But every black person who says we need this My question to you is, will you support it?
I mean, because if you really think about it, that's the only thing that matters, right? Because take a look at this. Oprah is one of the most beloved women on the planet and one of the few black billionaires in the world that actually started her own network too. And guess what happened? She sold all but 5% of the company Discovery.
People say, well, Tyler should just get with Oprah and launch a network. Oprah launched a network with Discovery. Bottom line is they own 95% of it.
Mainly because she didn't have a large support from black audiences. So, regardless of what you think about BET to date, it's still the only black-owned TV network to ever have a valuation to exceed $1 billion. And you know what? None of that matters because it still don't cover the elephant in the room. Because I'll give it to you. Let's say that Paramount does sell to Tyler Perry. Are we even sure that they'd make black television better?
Tyler Perry, can we please consider some other movie?
Because let's be real, despite what some of y'all think, not all black people love Tyler Perry.
Oh, Lord! Token, stop giving Tyler Perry money or he won't go away. I can't help it.
I mean, shout out to Tyler Perry and the fact that he employs a lot of black people, but we all know that his content appeals to a very specific audience.
I am dark-skinned and bald, so I hate you and I hate Jesus.
So if you or Tyler Perry thinks just because he owns BET that all of a sudden black people will flock back to it just because it's black owned again, y'all got another thing coming. Because by now, Black America has been exposed to plenty of other talented black creators since Tyler. Issa Rae, Lena Waithe, Donald Glover, Quinta Brunson, Courtney Kemp, Shonda Rhimes, Ryan Coogler, and that's just in the last decade. And I can argue right now that every single last one of these black creators are just as good as Tyler, if not better. So nah, Tyler, them days of you sitting alone in the writer's room making sure that your voice is the only one being heard is over.
Anybody ever see that picture of Tyler Perry in the writing room where he took a picture of himself in the writing room and there was nobody else in there but him?
I did have a writer's room about 10 years ago. I had the writer's room and they were turning in scripts that weren't up to par for my audience. I've been working with this audience and cultivating for 25 years, so I know what they want. It was just such an ugly situation, so I just decided, you know what, I'm just gonna write because I know that my audience knows my voice.
Now Tyler, all of this is cool when it's just you in a room by yourself, but if you want BET to thrive, you're gonna have to pay and respect other talented black voices. And I'm sorry, because black talent is actually a part of the WGA too.
Tyler Perry has brought more black people out of poverty than any of these unions have.
Oh, and don't worry, Tyler, we ain't done. So let's say that you did own BET, and you actually got off your high horse about being the only writer, and you gave us some positive black content that didn't involve light-skinned gardeners down and out on their luck. We still gonna need you to do something different with BET.
Give us BET Woke. Give us a channel with nothing but black consciousness movies, and not just the oldies, Tyler Perry. Where that Marcus Garvey movie at? Where that Haitian Revolution movie at, brother? Where that Mary McLeod Bethune movie? Where that Ida B. Wells movie? You're gonna have to evolve that content, my brother.
Like, first off, you're gonna need a hardcore digital strategy.
The future of BET or any other cable network is going to really hinge on what is their digital strategy.
We're gonna need every episode of 106 in Park, Hits from the Streets, Rap City the Basement, Comic View, and any other beloved BET original programs somewhere online, man. Because these iconic shows belong to the culture, even though they're owned by you. Now, Tyler, I know what you're thinking. This is easy for me to say when you're the one that's putting up $2 billion. So what's in it for you, right? Well, I'm smart enough to know that the number one way to drive that price down for you is to convince everyone I know to cut their cable, because that's still the number one way that Paramount makes its money.
This year it's estimated that 9.3 million people are going to cut the cord, meaning they're going to drop cable. If you have a cable network, you have a depreciating asset. If you buy a cable network today, the moment you buy it, the value of it is going to go down because you're losing customers.
Because you and I both know, Tyler, that the price of BET goes down a little bit more with every canceled subscription.
It would be crazy to buy an asset today for more money than what it's actually worth. BET at best is probably anywhere from $1 billion to $1.2 billion at best.
You sold for roughly $3 billion ultimately. So in hindsight, had you held on longer, would it be worth more today or would it be worth less today because the cable world's changed so much?
It would be, in my opinion, less today because once streaming came along, it changed the paradigm of cable.